Hello, hello.
Samantha.
Yeah, you're audible, Samantha. You can go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm audible. Okay, fine. Hello, good evening. How are you? Let me hear your voice. Or can you just raise your hands whether you're active here or not?
Yeah,
Let me know here.
yeah, Shaman, I think we can hear you. Probably, I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
okay. What about there are uh, Sonu, how are you? Alam, Vishal, Chinmay,
Hello, hi, good evening.
good evening. Can I just hear something from your side whether to just know?
Uh, Samantha, can I set the stage? Then you can take over if
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is
yeah.
okay.
Done.
Hello, guys. I'm Sandeep. I'll be the host for the session, and Samantha will be the co-host, and he'll be taking over the session today. So, this is the brainstorming session regarding how municipalities can turn trash into treasure, and this is an initiative of the debate club that we took. We took a derivation from the debate club spirit that we wanted to work towards tangible solutions for the problems in the society. So we started brainstorming like 2 months ago, and then this is the topic that was voted most in our WhatsApp debate club group. And so as I already said, the topic is about turning trash into treasure. We all know that it's a very big problem around the world, and of course we see it every day in our lives that municipalities either are overwhelmed by dealing with the trash, or either they are usually not capable. Even if they are sincerely doing it, they are not capable of coping up with the amount of trash that is being generated by the public. So I'll let Samantha to take over from here. Yeah, Samantha, you can take it over.
Yeah, fine. We all know that millions of tons of trash gets generated in each and every city. It is not a limited problem, which is very. It is not an endemic, or I can say that it is very ubiquitous in each and every municipal corporation. But today, the topic for the discussion is how are we going to generate wealth out of the waste? Uh, 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 Generate wealth out of the waste. So if you want to generate wealth out of waste, the first thing, the initial thing is to segregate the waste at the source level or at any level. It may be at the landfill site or it may be at the source level. The main important problem that we have is we are not effectively segregating the waste at the source level. Of course, if the municipality has taken the initiative, of course, the law mandates the municipality to collect the waste, but the source segregation should be done by the citizens alone. Uh, but there is a very big challenge that in multiple, it is very a big challenge in each and every city that people do not cooperate with the municipal corporation to segregate the waste at the source level itself. So it is so that is the major problem that is leading us uh, to create a very big landfill slides with unsegregated waste. Of course, as um, Sandeep told that it is a brainstorming session. I just we shall go structurally, we shall brainstorm how effectively as a citizen can we segregate the waste and what municipality can do to encourage and nudge the people to segregate the waste at the source level, which can solve 80 to 90% of solid waste management problem in India. You can just raise your hands if you want to air your voice. We shall go one by one each. Hello, hello. Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. Let if someone wants to speak, they can
Yeah, yeah.
raise
You
their
can
hand.
unmute it. You can unmute and you can speak.
Hey, hi guys. It's Neeraj here. So let me just clarify the idea, right? The agenda also. So you guys are saying like uh probably a brainstorm around how can we sort of make sure the waste management or the waste that is generated at the source is segregated well before it reaches any municipality, so that there is no probably
Yes.
the later on parts.
So
Okay.
the question itself is not about a specific topic. So of course the title itself says that how municipalities can turn trash into treasure, right? But the more pressing question is it's an all around trash. But because trash at a society level is dealt by municipalities, right? So most of the treasure generated in the world is directly connected to municipal authorities. So if we can tap that generation point through municipalities, most of the trash that goes to landfills can be either minimized or eliminated. So that is why we focused entirely on the municipalities. So for this session, we will be concentrating on towards only how a municipality can, or even they can even set forth some systematic rules or regulations, or even a system that facilitates citizens also will participate actively, so that the trash generated, so at the point of generation itself, that can be done. I mean, this is a brainstorming session, right? Everybody have their own you can come up with your own ways of addressing the problems and also giving the solutions. So we can list out we can start with listing out all the problems that you see. Everybody can list out what are the problems you see, and then we can go one by one what are the solutions that we can find.
Cool, makes sense, Sandeep. I think that actually makes sense. Is it also appropriate to question the concept of municipality in general? The reason why I asked
Yeah,
that is the
sure,
reason why
sure. I
I'm
mean,
asking is,
yes, if that is a problem, right? You're saying quality are efficient. Yeah, that's a valid point. We can note that. Yeah, sure.
yeah, because the reason why I say that is I've seen, let's say a couple of examples, right? Let's say in US, I've seen a couple of states implementing commercialization of, let's say, the trash, where they incorporate this concept of making sure the waste is segregated at source, and that's when it is collected by these commercial waste collectors, and primarily
Yeah.
the issue is solved there, right? Because you're paying for your trash to be picked. If it is not segregated appropriately, then it's not getting picked.
Okay. So the problem you're saying that segregation at the generation point, right?
That is true, because at least my personal experience, I'm from Bangalore, so my personal experience being the municipality authorities who collect the trash at door today might not necessarily check each and everything, and they probably are okay if you pay them, let's say, 50 rupees or 100 rupees on month basis. They necessarily do not check, let's say, if you mix
Yeah.
plastic within, let's say, of wet waste, right? They necessarily do not
Yeah.
care. You just pay them
They
100
have
rupees and they're
a
absolutely
dry
fine.
waste and wet waste, segregation rule. But even if you don't do that, they'll be overlooking it. That's what you're saying, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. Why do you think that is happening?
I mean, like I said, right, a lot of people, well, I'll give you my own example. My
Yeah.
mom doesn't, I keep telling my mom, don't do this, don't. She doesn't listen to
Mm.
me. She still ends
Yeah.
up, doing the same thing because she's been there from a long time where she never followed these kind of rules or anything per se, right? Now, while I try to push it in front of her, asking her to not do this, obey the municipality rules so that it's easier for them to segregate, explain, and, make her understand. I think the problem here is also education, right? A lot of people don't understand what is actually happening.
Yeah. For them, it is an extra step that they have to think about and learn.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So we can list that citizen behavior. That's another problem, right?
Yeah.
If you can, I can let me share the screen. I'm listing out all the. One minute, guys. I'll just share my screen so everyone can see that.
Can I talk?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, Neeraj,
Yeah.
what I understood from your point is that changing behavior of the people at the changing behavior of our citizens is a major problem. So people are uncooperative, like they're not cooperating with the municipal authority, people who come to collect the waste. So what I suggest is to change the behavior of the people to to encourage them to segregate waste properly at the source level is to penalize them if they don't segregate waste properly at the source level. Because the legislation, the Solid Waste Management Act, says that 100 rupee of a fee can be levied or penalized by the collectors who do on citizens who do not segregate the waste at the source level. If if we penalize citizens in particular zone or in particular area, then that message will be carried forward to all the other areas by the media. So wherever people get that fear psychosis in them and they start segregating the waste at the source level, whereby cooperating with the municipal waste collectors is what I believe.
Okay. Can I counter that point?
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 second. Can you guys see my screen?
Not yet.
No.
No.
Yeah. Can you guys see it now?
I think it's
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the
You can go on,
penalization part, right? I think what I've seen is, so while I understand there is this penalization code that is already incorporated within, let's say, a lot of cities, but the people or citizens have, probably figured out workarounds around it. By that, I mean, let's say instead of you penalizing them, instead of you pay them 100 rupees per month for this waste collector, right? They wouldn't care. Trust me, they don't care, because I personally have seen it, and this has happened multiple times around me. And I try to ask them, why do you guys do this? But it's always been the case that they pay them, let's say, 50 or 100 rupees per month, or maybe a 500, and they just collect anything you give. They pick any trash that is there and just go.
So bribing the municipal authorities.
Exactly, like bribing, and then the waste collectors, right? Because see, their monthly, how do you put it? Their monthly wage is probably around 10 or 15,000. Let's say you pay them 100 rupees, let's say, per house. They probably are making additional, maybe 5 or 10,000 per month, which actually helps them in with many other things, right? Maybe an education of the children, or maybe with their own household.
Yeah.
So anything like that.
So the problem here is that we have to motivate or inspire the collectors themselves. Is what you say.
That is correct.
See, guys, I think it is a chemistry between citizens and the waste collectors, right? And there is also a point where what is happening with this waste, that is also a major question. Because let's say if you're separating dry waste and wet waste, I'm just giving a hypothetical here, and they are dumping them both. They're not doing much. The municipality is not doing much with your waste, but they have what I'm getting a feeling is they have initiated dry waste and wet waste rule in while collecting the garbage, but they may have not facilitated down the line that they will be able to actually monetize on it, or even show some tangible or tangible results towards it. Probably that is why it is even okay for them to collect it. Because if it is going to a point where they have a garbage segregation system, the issue from the garbage segregation system will track back to citizens. Because let's say if you can give the garbage miscellaneously, you can mix everything and then you are dumping them, and then the garbage collectors will take it and then send it to garbage processing plant, and then garbage processing plant will not be able to handle it, right? So that problem will backtrack to the citizen themselves. So there is another issue, implementation of the
Laws, maybe, in a way.
कोणती पार्टी
खूप मोठं आतमध्ये ते भैये लोक खूप आहेत जास्त
one second, someone is talking.
ओरिसा बिरिसा वाले मराठी नाही.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was on. I'll mute myself.
Yeah, so that is another problem, implementation of the rules at the ground level. Venkat, can you please mute your mic? Yeah. So, yeah, does anyone have anything else to say?
Probably a question rather. So when
Yeah.
you were saying the municipality doesn't have a way to sort of monetize the waste they collect, right?
Yeah.
So are you saying they're not implementing or they're not selling this waste to, let's say, there's recycling units that are present across India?
I think the recycling is mostly localized, especially when it comes to household collection of dry and wet waste. When it comes to nationalized, garbage recycling, it is only specific to certain things like paper, plastic, glass. Only these kind of things can only be segregated and sent to a processing plant. But when it comes to dry waste and wet waste, their intention is to separate waste at a very rudimentary level. Like the expectation is the wet waste will have all the biodegradable things and the dry waste will have all the non-biodegradable things. So what I think they are doing is if they are doing anything with the waste, they are collecting the dry waste and maybe converting it to compost, and the rest of the sorry, they're collecting wet waste and converting them into compost, and they are collecting the dry waste and probably sending it to landfill, or maybe because yes, it is a very financially intense task to separate trash after getting it from the citizens. If you want to separate it manually, you can just imagine the amount of trash that needs to be separated manually. It is almost impossible.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is they started like, okay, let's do this dry and wet waste and then we'll do something, and then it actually didn't got rolled out or not realized in a real world. That's what that is my conjecture. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think there is so when we talk about garbage generation, right, we think about garbage generation at a citizen level. But I'd like to look at this garbage to a point of creation, because garbage may be generated at our home, but this has been manufactured, packed, and then shipped towards you. So the garbage is created somewhere at some point. It has been garbage all the way, but the purpose of that garbage, let's say the purpose of whatever the item that we are discarding, has met its point, right? That's why we don't need it anymore. So that is when it becomes financially, let's say, very
Sandeep, do you have any example for the type of garbage you're talking about? Like here,
yeah, let's say plastic, right? So everything is
okay.
wrapped in plastic nowadays. So
Yeah,
it comes to your home, let's say a water bottle. So the
yeah,
value of the plastic water bottle is to bring water to you, right? So
correct.
once it delivers on its purpose, then that
Yes.
water bottle becomes useless for
Mm-hmm.
everybody, right? So once it becomes useless, nobody wants to take the responsibility and nobody wants to put in that resources and energy to take care of it. So what
Yeah,
I'm
that
trying to
is it.
say is this in whatever see, I'm paying 20 rupees to buy a water bottle, and this particular money that I'm paying should also include the the expense that will be needed to recycle this water bottle itself. So that's
Correct.
what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not completely about municipality as well. Like I would say it's something about individual level. So for example, if I'm talking about medicines, as a master of pharmacy. So it happens that whenever we have to go through any research or something, we are placing orders to get new medicines, and in the plants we have to manufacture new medicines for research purpose. And at the same time, from the government, many a times we are circulating this awareness that citizens all around, this is happening, that for example, if I am there, if we are not using any medicine or if it's expired, usually we are directly throwing the medicine there in the garbage. So this is what this is happening from citizen point of view. From I'm saying that individual point of view, that we should be careful about, rather than we can take the medicines and we can actually donate the medicines to the research clubs and research people, if you understand. I can quote one example here. Like recently, we wanted to go through a research for preclinical trials and we wanted new medicines. So again, we went through all the financial troubles and we placed orders for the plants so that we can manufacture the medicines for our research. Rather than if there was that level of awareness within those citizens that, for example, I'm not using Saridon, or if, for example, I have Dolo and if it's expired, these kind of medicines we should not be throwing directly to the garbage, and rather we can donate there in the research places. Yeah, this is just one example which I'm quoting here. It's not completely about municipality, it's more about the individual citizens, that they are not following the rules properly.
Yeah, but again, if the municipalities are not facilitating, let's say personally, I have in my home, if you come and see, everything I segregate myself and I keep it, right? So it will be there for next 3 to 6 months. And then when everything gets collected, I'll just take it to some place where it can be recycled. And my personal example is a glass. Glass sometimes at some point I take it to this recycling guy, and sometimes he takes the glass. But then after 6 months, I go and give him the glass. Okay, take it. He says they're not taking it anymore. So the thing is, why they're not taking it is there is no value creation, that they do not have enough quantity or even quality to send it back to the recycling plant that they can that makes financial sense to them.
Yeah, so there is some problem, definitely. There is a lack of implementation, I can say. But again, like individually, if we will see, there are millions of people. If we are even talking about India, so when they're coming to collect waste, every time it's not possible that individually they can take care of each and everything. It's also about the individual level. For example, like if we are there in the labs, we have individual dustbins, and the same thing, the same experiment, when I'm carrying out in my room, then I'm not careful. If I'm carrying any medicine related experiment in my room, it happens that psychologically it's like, why shall I be taking so much trouble, and directly we are throwing all the medicines there in the dustbin and it's getting mixed up with all kind of waste. So these are ultimately the chemicals. I meant to say this was just a part of example which I'm saying. I'm not talking completely about medicines. It's also about the individual citizens. As an individual, we should also be little careful. And if there is some sort of mental involvement from our side, that actually pressurizes the government or the system or the implementation, all those people, those who are involved for the implementation.
Yeah. So I think it is the effort has to go both ways, right?
Yeah, correct.
But if we look at, let's say, if there are like two parts to it, one part is the municipalities and other part is citizens, right?
Yeah.
So let's say if municipality is not taking, is not participating in this,
Correct.
creating a solution,
Yeah.
citizens do not have any, way to do it. But
Right,
let's
right.
say if municipality is actively doing it,
Uh-huh.
but citizens are not doing it. But what happens when the municipality creates that culture down the line after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years,
Right.
that culture will get set into the town or city.
Yes,
So,
correct.
so the initiation has to come from the municipality. So I'll give you an example. When I was I visited Europe many times, and one of the examples from Italy is you can when I first saw the garbage, the number of garbage bins on the streets, there are like almost 6 different types of garbage bins.
Okay.
One is for wet waste, not even wet waste, it's biodegradable. And the
Correct.
second one is plastics, and the third one is metal,
In a
and the
way,
fourth
what we
one,
have in our research labs. Yeah, correct.
yeah. So they are taking that kind of seriousness and they are putting these bins out there. And there
Okay.
is another,
Yeah.
thing that they actually implemented last year, Italy. What they did is, they, after you do all this segregation, then obviously there will be some kind of garbage you cannot put anywhere, right?
Right.
And then that becomes a miscellaneous one.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is actually they're weighing that, they're taking that weight. If they're coming to your home and they're collecting, garbage, and then
Yes.
they're weighing it. So at the end of the month, they'll be charging you for the amount of garbage
Okay.
that you have generated.
Yeah.
So they are actively discouraging citizens not to generate that kind of waste that they cannot recycle.
Right.
And
Yeah.
also, the municipality themselves provides these garbage bags, biodegradable bags, or industrially recyclable bags. So they have this system that you can go to you're paying tax, right? You're paying house tax, you're paying a lot, different, all types of taxes you're paying. And then the municipality has a responsibility there. You can go and collect all these, things from the municipality. You don't have to buy it from, any supermarket. They are providing to the citizens because you're a taxpayer. And then you participate in that cycle. They have created this kind of a culture that came into the system. And then obviously there will be people like trying to,
Yeah, they have this powerful
yeah,
system and powerful implementation, we can say. We are talking about India. It's not that we don't have sufficient laws. We have lot
yeah,
many laws, and citizens are not even aware of how to utilize the laws and rules and regulations. It's also about some kind of mentality about us. If specifically I'm talking about India, that implementation power is really not very good. In few terms, maybe I can say.
yeah, sure.
So yeah.
So I'm
Yes.
adding the
Yeah, yeah.
solution. How is it?
Sudeep,
Uh,
yeah, Sandeep, I totally accept that. Yes, the municipality should create the system around the people to facilitate the garbage collection and
yeah,
to segregate the garbage at the source level itself. I just want to give one more example that I have learned that Indore is so famous for the cleanest city tax
yeah,
in the 37 years. I was just curious to see why Indore was because Mysuru was the cleaner. Mysuru had the cleanest city tag in 2015, and in just
yeah,
1 year, at that time in 2015, the Indore was in 27th position. But in 2016, Indore came to first position and the Mysore went below, was around at fifth position. I was just very curious to see why Indo has changed, has gained that cleanest city tag and how it has sustained consistently the cleanest city tag all around the 7 years since from 7 to 8 years since from 2015. The one thing that I understood is that the municipality, the Indore Municipal Corporation, by collaborating with the Residential Welfare Association in Indore and the citizens in Indore, and with multiple stakeholders, they created the system to segregate the waste at the ground level itself. uh, Segregate, totally segregate at the ground level itself. People themselves are cooperating initially. People's behavior were not that cooperative. Were not. It was not that encouraging towards segregation. But initially, gradually, the administration themselves and the municipality themselves started taking a strict action. It may be penalizing the people or encouraging them to segregate at the waste and to generate the compost at the source level and utilize the biodegradable waste made out of compost made out of biodegradable waste at the source level as a menu to their plants. So yes, I totally accept that. Yes, municipality should create that environment among the citizens with different stakeholders to segregate the waste is what I believe. Yes.
yeah. So I think Chinmaya raised his hand. Do you want to speak or should I let?
I actually had a point that I mean, yes, we can do all these things in urban areas, but what about the rural areas? Because in rural areas there is lack of awareness, and
Yeah,
rather than that, there is also lack of resources about how we go about the waste and all. And in comparison to urban areas, I feel rural areas are contributing more to the waste.
yeah.
May I speak
because
here? I'm so
yeah,
sorry I'm intervening, but I really want to say that I believe they are smarter than us. If I'm talking about rural people, I have watched them like very keenly. I have observed them. Firstly, they do not produce that sort of waste, which is really dangerous for the environment. And secondly, they are not much into awareness, definitely. Maybe they are not very educated most of the times, but they have that, I would say, how shall I say, they have that kind of conscious alertness what they have from their ancestors. So more or less I feel like they are really careful about garbage. I'll be more focusing upon urban people, like we as a people here, the kind of waste we are generating is really affecting the environment more. So I believe they are smarter than us. Rural people, though they don't have that uniform level of, I would say, established system to have any regulation upon this, but mentally, I believe the kind of waste they are generating is more or less utilized in one way or the other for the environment. And if you want, you can actually also quote any example. So with the help of your example, I can explain much better. For example, if you are saying that rural people are producing more that sort of waste, then you can also quote some examples. So with respect to that, I can explain further. Because I feel like urban people, they are more involved into this damage which is getting created for the environment. Yeah.
yeah, also there is a different cultures, right? Most of the developed nations have all this, everything comes in packaged, and then they, their culture itself is created towards generating garbage, and slowly even India has absorbed that kind of a culture in, inside. But most of the time, if I have to take my own example, we don't actually generate a lot of trash for a family of four. So that is how even culture also plays a very big role. But the saddest part is there are some services and products that have been pushed into market and advertised very a lot, and then obviously we are in a very not in initial stage, but per capita trash, per capita garbage generation is actually even a lot less in India, to say. And yeah,
So we
also
have to
the
talk
culture
about
also.
Yeah, can I say one thing
type
about
of
this?
garbage.
Can I, if you don't guys, Mr. Alam has raised his hand, I'll let him speak first.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, we are a developing country. I mean, I'm answering to your point. We are a developing country, so eventually we will reach a point where our people will start earning more. So these
Yeah,
trash, I mean, waste would eventually increase in large numbers. I mean, India is a 1.4 billion population in population wise. So if we reach even to economy such as China, eventually we will have large number of mountains of trash.
वो है.
Totally agree with that. And one more point, what Samanthak had said about indoor. Can I say about that?
yeah, sure, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So about that, he told about indoor, and I totally agree with him. If anyone remember watching this cartoon, I mean, it's a bit funny, Doraemon cartoon. I usually they usually had some weekdays or weekends where they used to clean their rivers. I mean, this was my childhood memory where they used to clean their rivers. I mean, that was one of the, I mean, best part of those cartoons where they used to teach these kids that they have to clean their river. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't think we have any such program in our country where, I mean, kids or school going kids or students are, I mean, they are promoted or they are asked to clean their rivers. So I think, I mean, such programs would help our country. I mean, if we see in that manner, talking about
yeah,
municipalities,
that's
if
a
if
very good point, Alam. And also, the children also learn from their parents, right? So we
totally,
also
I
have
mean,
to,
I was so much into it. I mean, even I wanted to do that. But there are some, I mean, some social terms where you cannot do that, by yourself.
yeah,
So, I mean,
yeah.
this
When
was
it
one of
comes
my points.
to, yeah, garbage has, very high, ties with the way we behave and the culture that we set and the mindset that we have. Because as when the moment that we think it is garbage, that is the problem, right? The moment that we think it is garbage and is not our problem, that is
Yeah,
where all
totally.
this the entirety of the problem is rooted in, right? So in our own psychology, we have to create that awareness, and we have to educate people. I know it is very hard to do it. I do it myself every single day and every single moment, but yeah, it's a journey, right? We have to go through it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like totally. I mean, we are a very close aid or very close friend with Japan, as a country. I mean, we should transfer such things, such planning, such procedures, and assign some Japanese, like municipalities. How like one example, in India we have metro systems. So Delhi
Yeah.
Metro was one of the first metros in our country in a large scale. But so each and every metro in India is now based on the model of Delhi Metro. For
Yeah.
that matter, why can't we, I mean, like create such planning panels where, like, for example, city called Indore, what one of our colleagues told, like Indore. So why can't we assign or, create some panels where a model of such cities are taken as an example, and they are like, planned in such way and promoted in such way. I mean, I totally like, look into it. We should do something like that in our
May I
city,
say
in each and
something
every
here?
city.
Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt, but you were talking about Japan. Firstly, I really want to let you know that, this Doraemon cartoon, there was so much
Yeah,
controversy about this that, yes, there are few of the episodes where they are promoting good things, but also, when they were promoting all those kind of gadgets, that is also in a way subconsciously affecting the students, sorry, the children. And secondly, I don't know why, but I really want to bring this here, that I believe you were only saying that in India, there is no such thing happening. I'm saying you that the maximum of all these kind of abhiyan and everything which is going around is actually there in India. More than any other country, I would say. Here in the past 4 or 5 years, India has taken so many initiatives. Maybe in your area you have no knowledge about, like, maybe
maybe,
not so much
totally. Maybe
to
it
this.
might not be reaching me. Yeah,
Maybe
totally. I
want
agree.
to put this point that recently when we were dealing with a system related to medicines, and usually it's like we are criticizing China more, and I'm personally I'm working with two countries, Brazil and China. So more or less till now I have not received any complaints from China. It's Japan, usually the people of Japan. It's not about, yeah, the way they are portraying their country. It's really good. They have such a nice culture. I really appreciate that. But practically, apart from cartoon, if I'll be talking, then here in this medicine world, they are creating a lot of damage. And I won't say a lot of damage, but a lot of mistakes, which Indians are actually not performing. From the past few months, we are trying to sort a lot of things where Indians, they are really careful, they are really knowledgeable, and they have that intellectual power, which usually I feel like Japanese people are lacking in some way or the other. So it's like from a long time we are hearing they have a really nice culture and all these things. So it's subconsciously there in our mind. But Doraemon, if it's promoting one good thing, it's promoting a lot of bad things as well. And yeah, this is one thing. And also, like, there was Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and I think a lot of abhiyans, Swachh Bharat, some urban kind of abhiyan was also going on. Even I had participated once, and also for river. I believe sometime back there was something for River Ganga, and also here in North we have a festival called Chhat, where we celebrate Surya Dev. During that time also, all the many of the people, those who are involved for this puja, they're cleaning the rivers and all the water around them to carry their puja things. So a lot of things are
And
happening. Maybe we Indians are not able to, I would say, portray it in some way, but usually
yeah, I
foreign people
think,
are.
yeah, even though the cleaning is happening, I think it's about uh, yeah, it's about people,
We are not much aware, maybe because of like about our country. I feel like because I've seen
yeah,
practically many
that
things happening, but it's not there on YouTube, or maybe we
Yeah,
Indians.
totally agree. But India is a very big country, as in, so that was like, an example for my city. I mean, I'm
You're
living in
right.
Hyderabad.
Correct.
So
Even
we
I'm
don't
there in
have that
Hyderabad.
such
Okay.
plans and procedures here, and it's totally a failed city for
Correct.
cleanliness and
Correct.
related things.
Absolutely. You are right. When I'm talking about
Okay.
Hyderabad, oh my God, drainage system, it's a total disaster. So I get what you're saying here.
Okay, guys. If I can let
Yeah,
Mahadev
yeah.
speak. Samantak, you can go ahead, then I'll let
No,
Mahadev
let him
speak. Yeah.
speak. Let him speak. He has not spoken even once, so let him take an
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah, hello guys.
Mahadev? Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yes, uh, I just want to add one point. I don't know whether you have discussed it or not. Uh, we are having more garbages. We were discussing about generating wealth from garbages. Like us, also in abroad, there are many countries in UK who are having lump sum and tremendous amount. They sell their garbage to other countries, isn't it? I hope I'm correct.
Yeah, they do.
So
They do now. They don't actually sell it. It's more like dumping. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, so does the India also do that? Do things of that sort, or do we?
India is actually at the receiving end. Yeah. There is a lot
Okay,
of garbage dumping goes on in Gujarat. I personally know that there is a lot of ship dumping happens in Gujarat. I mean the old ships, the ships that are outdated, like end of life ships are dumped into Gujarat because there is a scrapyard in Gujarat. Yeah.
so do they dump illegally, or do they dump to our country for some money?
It is
Do we
not
get
illegal,
money?
but it is a
Okay,
gray area. So it is like there are some agencies that take it comes into like importing something, but it is dumping, right? There are
yes,
always
yes.
also anti-dumping laws are there. Actually, even Australia sends their trash to China. China has taken I think they have stopped it. So I think now they are sending it to Indonesia or some other country, Indonesia or other those island countries. Now Indonesia is facing that issue, so there are a lot of countries that export their trash to other countries. Yeah. So this actually happens in a way that so there is a lot of trade happens, right? There is a lot of ships that goes to these developed nations and they get empty. So when they are coming back, they come with empty containers. So what they do is they put the trash in them. So it is like instead of coming with empty containers, they
Mm,
bring back trash into them. So they just dump it somewhere in the third world countries and then they show it as an import or export, something like that. Yeah, and they get paid for it. So, yeah, you have anything else to add, Mahadev?
in Europe, I don't know. I have no clarity about this. I think there are some micro cities instead of villages. They use this mechanism we were discussing, turning the trash to treasure. There is something like that. That's it. I will know about it.
Okay. Okay, I'll let Samantak speak. Yeah.
Yeah,
Samantak, go ahead.
yeah. I came to know that I don't know his name. Chinmay, not Chinmay. Yeah, Alam or Chinmay, I don't know. I'm mistaken. Has said that Japan, we can copy and learn something from the other countries, Japan or any other country, Europe, Italy, and try to implement the same model. And you also mentioned the same thing under in the fourth point of the solution, taking examples from the other countries and implementing them in India. There are good things. There are many good things happening in India itself. The best example is the indoor model can be replicated by many other municipalities across India. If indoor is able to manage the garbage, if they are able to do that thing, segregation or recycling or processing of garbages in that small city, why can't other municipalities try and learn from the same and replicate the same model? Is one of the solutions that I can say. Um, And second problem that I just want to raise here is the problem of landfill. Of course, we say that yes, we are segregating the waste at the source level, and we are not allowing it to go to some other places. We are segregating the biodegradable and making it to compost and using it as a manure. And non-biodegradable waste, which cannot be reused or recycled, are going to the process plant, and later further it is getting used for some other materials, some other purpose. It may be making uh, plastic out of the same plastic generated out of from the waste, etc.
Yeah.
So landfill is a very big problem in India. Day by day, day by day, day after day, the size of the landfill is getting increased. It may be in big cities. And last year there was a very big, massive fire that had broken out in Kochi, Brahmapuram, some fire plant, and it took around 2 months, 2 weeks or something to douse the fire. Some was some
Yeah.
I don't know the actual reason what was behind the fire that had caught up the fire plant. So how effectively can we tackle the problem of landfill? Because landfill is already the problem. Landfill is not allowing people to live around that area, and it is also degrading the entire land. So
Yeah.
that is also one problem that is uh, created out of waste itself, because we did not have that consciousness before all these things started, like segregating the waste at the source level. So we just started to collect and dump the waste at one given site. So landfill, how can we tackle the problem of landfill is one problem that I just want to bring into this limelight.
Yeah. So I think now I want to concentrate more on actually what let's say an example of a city. How can a municipality can actually make a financial sense? Let's say, is it even possible? There are two phases to it, right? Is it even possible that the trash can be actually, financially, uh, does it even make sense for the municipalities to collect garbage and process it so that it makes financial sense to them? But again, there is another point, like even if it doesn't make financial sense to them, they have to do it because of course obvious reasons, like health, the quality of lifestyle for the citizens, and of course keeping the city clean, and of course it's their responsibility to do it. So because municipality is not a corporation, right? They cannot just think only about money, but there has to be a sweet spot, like there should be some kind of a financial return for this municipality, and also they should be able to meet those requirements from the taxes that they are collecting. And there should also be the political and the political support that has to come from the ministries themselves, so that they can also financially support this garbage collection and garbage segregation as a full system. That I think this is the only way that it can happen.
Right.
So why do you guys think is the main problem? What are the things that I have listed? What do you think is the main problem that is actually not happening at the ground level?
I think everything is the problem there. Nothing is up. Like everything is a problem there. Like in some places things are happening, and at some places the things are not happening. So that is what I thought.
There is an inconsistency in implementation, I would say.
Yeah, it's also about the political system of India.
Yeah, it is entirely variable.
Yeah, like when we talk about, municipalities, they change, like the leadership and all that change, and their priorities as well change. Some municipal corporation, they would prefer, cleaning their areas, but some wouldn't. So
Yeah,
even
it's
that is one of the problem.
that political system actually.
What
It,
about
Politically, yeah,
corruption at municipal level?
that
yeah,
is one thing,
truly.
but the authority is really very powerful. People won't dare do that. It's also about who is the leader and how the person is holding the pedestal. Maybe people are not scared of government, and government, they are themselves uh, involved in such kind of things. So if we have that level of strong authority, that actually pushes people consciously to work in a proper way.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. Like I was into. I'm sorry, intervening in
So
between.
it's
Uh,
fine.
Fine. Yes, I had a very good chat with the corporation commissioner in Mysore,
Mhm.
and I asked the same question: why the Mysuru is not inconsistent in doing things, like why the ranking went below, and why the things are happening in Indore, and why not here? The one thing that I got from him is that strong political will at the grassroots level, especially at the Indore, not from the CM. CM also supported, especially the role played by the mayor of that municipality was something magnanimous and pivotal to turn the whole system
Correct.
around. So yes, bureaucracy.
So
The bureaucracy can't work alone. There should be a
You are
political will, especially for these civic issues and civic matters. And people should also join their hands, cooperating with each other. So that is what I believe.
I feel like, sorry, I'm intervening, but it feels like it's also about the political thing. I truly very strongly believe this. For example, there is a lot of thing which I'm doing here in Hyderabad. For example, under this CM, for example, and the same thing, if I was there in UP, then I was not doing that under the Yogi Sarkar. So it's also about who is there holding the authoritative power. The same thing if we are talking about this municipality and waste, it's also a way I would say that India is lacking behind in a lot of things also because of the political system. If you deeply think about these things, the root cause is the political system. If we have that level of strong power, people would not even dare to do that. That is one thing. So I would say, for example, I'm there in Hyderabad. When I'm there in the company, I'm working really well in front of people. I'm putting everything, all the medicines properly in the dustbin. And same thing, if I'm there in my room, I'm like careless. If whether it's Saridon or Dolo or any other painkiller or any medicine, randomly if it gets expired, I'm randomly throwing that in the dustbin. So I'm the same person. I have the same degree, but in front of all those people, I have to be little more conscious. And here I'm not. So also on the individual level, there is a level of, I would say, mental, no, I would say on individual level, we have to be working in a specific way, even if people are not watching us. So I'm talking about the whole population. And secondly, definitely the political thing, which needs to be little bit improved. Also the municipalities and all these people. So
Yeah,
it's
but at this point, like,
like
it's
hand in
more
hand
about
together.
people, truly. It's more about even people, how people take
That is
those
what I was
things.
mentioning during the start of the
Yeah,
session. It's about the people, the root thing from where it is happening. There are millions of people. They cannot, municipality alone cannot do everything, no? It's also about
yes.
us as individual. That is the thing.
Yeah, I mean, like how people entertain those, if someone is changing the law and
Correct.
enforcing strong laws, still,
Yeah.
if
Yes,
people
but
start rejecting those laws, I mean,
how do we change the citizen behavior, guys? Okay, we
That,
know that people are not doing it, but we don't have a solution. Do we have a solution?
Yeah, we do have
And
solution. Like, oh, I'm so sorry in between I said, but it's about strong implementation power. India has a lot of laws in comparison to other countries, but implementation is really not good here. Maybe because of the cultural
that
diversity
goes
of
with
tradition.
everything, right? So implementation is not very effective in every single sector. So it also applies to garbage management, sewage management, even everything
Correct.
else. So the solution is not, we cannot say implementation is, of course it is an issue, but it is not a solution, right? I mean, there is no practical solution for this issue. And
am I allowed to intervene here?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, Sandeep, you told that we have to basically, it all boils down to the change in behavior of the people, especially the civic matters. If people do not cooperate, then nothing goes right.
Right.
Nothing goes right, especially for the civic problems, like garbage or water or something,
So
sanitation
this
and all.
is the thing,
I
guys.
feel
So
that, I feel that, I,
municipality,
yes,
yeah,
I
go
feel
on,
that
go on. Yeah,
if people are not ready to change the behavior, we
Yes.
have given power to our elected representatives, it may be the councillors at the municipal
exactly.
level. They should wield their power to change the people's behavior. Means the municipality, the council, or the bureaucracy to take a lead, to take an initiative to change the behavior. It may be by raising the awareness. If people's behavior are so rude, then they have to penalize them. If people's behavior can be changed by using soft power, then that means using information communication technology, by giving ads, creating awareness program can be done, and incentivizing the people for the good behavior if they practice something, like giving some shout outs if people or particular community is doing that one and helping the municipality to better collect the waste at their source level. So I think that municipality should intervene and should create that atmosphere or the culture. Then later that culture should be sustained by the municipality once the people take the responsibility of segregating the garbage and contributing to solve the problem is what I feel.
Okay.
I want to add one thing. I mean, can I
Uh,
say one thing?
can you please hold on? I'll let Jesus speak.
Okay,
He raised his hand
okay.
before.
Yeah, I'm Bhumi. Actually, I was just pointing out what Shamantak pointed out. Like municipalities can conduct awareness campaigns and that can make the citizens more aware of the duties as a dweller of the place itself. So that is what I was just pointing out.
Okay, thank you. Alam, you can go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, what I wanted to add one thing is right now we are at the best position, I mean, for changing this thing. I mean, the trashes and related to things, why we are at the best position? Because, we as a population, I mean, this is important. Demographics is really important right now because we are having a large population of youngsters. If we start like training them, or I mean, training is not a good word, I would say, start like creating programs. I mean, we already have many
Awareness.
programs, awareness of, I mean, awareness, and all these awareness programs are there, but still, more has to be done. But total, we are at the best position, like compared to other countries where population demographics are really bad. So if we start changing from right today, I mean, in the next 10 years, we can be, we can have clean cities, like in a matter of time. If anyone would remember Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, it
Right.
was a
Yeah.
very minor kind of abhiyan when it was started. But people started thinking, yes, it is a big change. I mean, no one really thought about people going in open areas and doing like whatever, like so. But things have changed. I mean, totally it has changed. Even in
Yeah,
the
even the system in trains have changed. They have garbage collection now. 10 years ago, you just throw it anywhere you want, but you have a
yes,
garbage point
totally.
that
I
they
mean,
collect now. Yeah.
now we are having municipalities. Even talking Hyderabad. I mean, it's really important. We really didn't have any system where we used to like keep trashes wherever we want. I mean, not wherever we want. We actually wanted someone to collect it, but no one was really there. But the change really happened. So there is not everything is not negative. There are positives. I mean, so talking about positives, there are many, and there are yet to come. I would add in that one.
Yeah.
Right.
Samantha, do you want to speak?
No, I don't want. Let others. Many incomplete people here who haven't spoken. Let them contribute.
You guys,
So,
if anyone
how about
want-
we implementing all this discussed means in a
sorry.
college separate course like disaster management course is there like that we can youth
Okay,
some edtech
curriculum.
companies. Hello.
You mean the private sector should get involved?
Yeah, some edtech companies introducing some course for in colleges and for disaster no for garbage system turning this treasure into the trash into treasure. For example, last year in Andhra Pradesh, this YS Jagannath Reddy introduced this thing, but it was not implemented. It was introduced in schools for the 10th class students, new chapter, and uh, he also put separate kiosks for collection of garbages and turning into treasure. The model was good actually. I learned I read about it in the newspaper, but I don't think it was implemented.
Okay.
Okay, just
Am I allowed to speak?
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
just I
Nitish.
just I'll take a small. Okay, fine. Yes, there is a very big potential to turn garbage into waste. There are good models that are happening in India too. But at the end, it all boils down to the segregation. If you do not segregate the waste, people who are aspiring or who are thinking to start some new venture to create some wealth out of waste or to monetize the wealth, monetize the waste, if they do not have a resource that is the segregated waste, then it is meaningless to start a startup. Then they can't even start their business venture. I just have a small example also. In Delhi, I don't know how many of you are from Delhi. I don't know particular her name. Both the couples had started this business. They started tapping the potential of this rack pickers. They started to collect the plastic bags or the plastic waste, and she and they both invested something for the mission, and they started to convert that plastic bags into bags. that were the durable bags that can be used for many years together, which was which didn't go to the waste again. So they started it went well, and they started to do it as a business, and they run a very good business. Means business, they are just using the non-biodegradable plastic waste that are generated out of uh, from the day-to-day activities, and they are making it into a very durable bag. So I say that there is a very good business venture. I see that a very good business, new startups can come, not only the bags, but they can use many other waste resources. It may be to make any bricks, to make bricks out of plastic, or any other waste materials. So what I feel is that yes, segregation is what we have to encourage people to segregate the waste. Uh, that processing should happen, and then later only we can monetize wealth out of this.
Okay. So does anyone wants to give actual solution that what can a municipality can do actually? Is it do anybody have any practical solution that can actually be implemented in a town or so? Do you think is it even possible that we can do it?
I
I
would
actually
add.
have two solutions. Like basically now there is this thing which they do in Turkey. What they do is instead of segregating the waste, they just take it to a plant and they incinerate it. But there is a catch. When they incinerate it, they connect it to that turnstile. So what it does is um, the heat which is produced during the process, it is used in moving the turbines and all, and it generates a lot of electricity. But at the cost, there is a lot of ash and like after burning metals and all, metals cannot like really burn, so they are left as a residue. So what they do is they filter out the ash, and the ash is used as cement, and the metals are and then again used as scrap. So this is something which can be done or maybe thought of. And second is about the plastics. Actually, we had an IV to Bombay Dyeing. So there they showed us what they do is they actually collect all the plastics and all and send it to a PSF plant where the plastic is like cleaned and then boiled at a very high temperature, and then it is stretched uh, at some speed or temperature. I don't remember much of the details, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it
and
goes through a process and then
yeah, yeah,
they do something about it. Okay.
yeah.
Is
In
it
the end,
financially viable for them?
yeah, yeah. I mean, as a result, Bombay Dyeing is able to produce, the linen due to which on which we sleep and all. Like they end up making mattresses, not mattresses, sorry, the beddings and all. So yeah, this is something which can be done.
These are the corporate initiatives that I think there are a lot of corporations that take pride in showing that they are using recycled things, and they are using all these processes that they are trying to reduce garbage and all. But I have a skepticism that does it even that is that financially making sense to them, or even they are in an experiment stage. I'm not sure.
Actually, I had visited the plant, so I literally saw, the huge chunks of garbage they are just bringing
Okay,
through the trucks and
that's
all.
fine.
So yeah, actually it works, but it should be, more commercially viable, or I would say more commercially
Yeah,
well.
actually what
Yeah,
happens is
yeah.
there is a lot of things that come into place. Let's say Bombay Dyeing is in at some place where they have this garbage that they can use. These are the things that come into place and it creates it creates a opportunity for a company that actually makes sense to them. So this is a case by case scenario that applies to a different case by case thing, right?
Mhm.
So at some point, let's say some country decides to incinerate it because they don't have any means to handle it. So some country is able to segregate it to a point where they can minimize 99% of the garbage, and they convert into recycling things. So if there are like extreme situations and then exceptions that every country has to go through. But in general, when it comes to municipalities, the most of the garbage is, obvious, right? You have kitchen waste, you have plastics, and then there are some, packages nowadays, like we have Amazon, all these e-commerce sites that they are sending out, a lot of cardboard. So this cardboard actually is, very easy to sell. If you can segregate this cardboard, you can actually sell it to the people that come and, collect at your home. But the thing is, people don't have that kind of energy, time, or even interest. They can just throw it out, because the amount of money you can make out of, after 6 months and 1 year of probably like 20-30 rupees, like nobody cares. But when the municipality itself is providing, or municipality itself is, going around and creating this platform for those people, then the chain becomes more solid. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Right. Sorry, I really wanted to quote an example here. Sometime back, I just heard that there is this concept of plastic roads here in India. Like, I do not have much information about this, but it was started by any doctor, I think. So
Yeah, they are using this bitumen
yeah, right,
made out
right.
of
So they
plastic.
are using the plastic and they are creating roads. Like I heard there in Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, I think Uttar Pradesh or UP, no, right, Uttar Pradesh. So they were actually collecting the plastics and they were creating kilometers of roads. And this was such a great move. Also because in a way, this plastic won't be disturbing the environment. At the same time, it was cost effective, and I don't know, I heard it was the durability was good or something was really good about this concept. So I think there are few set of people those who are working upon this, but really I don't have much information about this. But some time back, I saw one news also regarding this, that this is really a nice move, and especially uh, talking about urban people, for anything we have that level of secondary and tertiary packaging, and especially plastic is used most of the times. So that is one of the, I would say, primary waste which is generated. So if this concept is more practically
See,
incorporated, then it will be really beneficial. I don't know, like I just remembered this
the
example.
the challenge actually comes in is about the miscellaneity, of the garbage. If you give, if the garbage, let's say, if I give you a truck full of garbage, which is of one single type, it is not garbage anymore. But
Right.
when you mix even 10% of something that doesn't belong there, then it becomes a garbage. Why it becomes a garbage is, if you need that 10% contamination in that particular item is very expensive to segregate, and you have to handle it, and then you have to send it somewhere, and then
So
someone
that is
has
what,
to take care
right.
of it. So
Yeah.
segregation is the main, silver bullet for even solving, even trying to solve, at least, even if we start to thinking about solving something, segregation is where we have to start, right?
That is
Yeah.
what I was saying. So there should be that level of involvement from the government, from the municipality actually. Sometime back when I was there in Manipal University, Karnataka, there we had individual dustbin for each and everything. I really used to appreciate that. And again, when I came here to Hyderabad, the same, I'm really telling you, for everything they're using just this same dustbin for everything, for everything. So this is also about the authoritative people or maybe about the individual cities. So rules are actually changing with respect to different cities. So again, it's about the municipality, all those people, those who are holding the pedestal. If they are really careful, then citizens have that level of, I would say, awareness that they do want to contribute. So during COVID-19 also, when Narendra Modi ji, when he asked us to, something was happening with the utensils or something, so all the citizens, they were actually involved into this. So it's
Yeah,
again about government and the
yeah,
people holding the
that was
pedestal.
just to show the gratitude towards medical professionals who were working
Yeah,
as a
so if
frontline
the
workers.
government is strong, if there is that level of, I would say, communication, that best level of communication, then citizens, they are not fooled. Indians, they are really brilliant. If government is working in a good way, Indians have that capability to defeat anything. The main problem is the political system here in India.
Yeah,
If we are talking about
political
garbage or
will.
any other thing.
Yeah, the political will, I mean, to do something, like
Right.
I do remember that we were banging, all the
Right.
utensils.
So
Everyone
everybody
was together.
involved into this. So I really appreciate this. Indians, they are really good when it comes to taking moves, but it's also about good initiative starting with the people those who are holding the pedestal. This is what.
Yeah, guys. Even I've spoken with the municipal commissioner of my town multiple times, and he
Okay.
repeatedly says the same thing. See, we want to do, we get the taxes, we get the funding, but the issue is the local MLAs and MPs. They
Right.
take the contracts and they have to give them the contracts, and they don't obey that. No, they don't follow through.
Yeah,
And
there is also, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can continue.
yeah, they don't follow through, and citizens are more concerned about other things than these, garbage, sewage, because as long as the citizens doesn't, are not aware of what is happening behind it, and what, because I've seen, even see, there was an instance where, the government itself implemented, and they have sent garbage bins, like three sets of garbage bins. And I've seen everybody in my entire street are complaining why now they're wasting money, time,
Right,
and
right.
then we have to segregate it, and now who will collect it? And obviously
Uh-huh.
they didn't go through it; they just only initiated it, but it didn't fall through.
Yeah.
So if the citizens themselves are not willing to do
Right.
that, it even becomes very hard for the municipality, because it's a two-way road, right? If you're not
Yes,
meeting
yes.
in the
It
middle,
goes
it
hand in
is,
hand, definitely.
yeah. Sure. So Samantak,
Uh,
should we? Yeah, Mahadev.
Actually,
Mahadev, you can go ahead. Yeah.
I have some politicians in my family. I just want to share.
Yeah, sure.
Mine needs diversity. See, the politicians, they come into politics with a good intention only. But the we need to get prepared before everything. Suppose we are taking a movie, Bahubali. It takes 5 years to get the mindset of the protagonist like that. So we need to. I'm not emphasizing on myself or my family, but the youth of now we are discussing. Why we are discussing? Because we have some time. We have some time and we have fixed a scheduling meeting. We discuss this and we leave it. We don't, in my humble opinion, we don't make any attempt to
Yeah, Mahadev, I'm really sorry
take
that
the
I'm just
initiative.
right. You can complete, then I'll speak. Yeah. So when I'm talking about politics, even I have people.
Katija, can you
Yeah,
let him speak?
yeah,
Mahadev,
sure.
do you have anything else to say?
Oh yeah, actually,
Yeah, please go
what
on.
we
Yeah.
discussing here, we are accumulating the data. It's getting more
Yeah.
into our head. So we need to slowly dispense, we need to densify it through implementation by ourselves only. We should not expect someone else to do the things. We can do, but why can't youth come inside and volunteer them to the government is providing all the services. Everything is available in websites, everything is available in magazines. Do we read it them? There is Yojana Kurukshetra. We find fabulous information about all these things because I prepared for UPSC. People don't easily go into the government like a cakewalk. They use all their peer pressure and write these magazines and do these suggestive measures in websites. So my humble thoughts is, as a youth, rather than this, the solution to this doesn't happen in a debate. In debate we just portray our opinions. Solution happens only from ourselves. Uh,
Yeah,
we forming as a
Mahadev,
group. We make.
this is not actually a debate. We are here to actually listen to each other, and does anyone actually have a solution? So this is actually a brainstorming session. So if, let's say, if even if we are
Yeah.
not capable of doing it, we are here to hypothetically create a solution that could work, in an ideal situation. And it might, let's say, if somebody would able to do it in their own town, like let's say municipal commissioner is willing to do it, and the politicians are willing to do it, and the citizens are willing to do it, but they don't know how to do it, right? Let's say an ideal situation. So if, are we able, let's say if all these people are ready to do it, do we have do you do are we capable of providing a solution? So that's why we are having a discussion here. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
May
yeah, I understand. That's what I'm telling, that we should not dilute this our emphasis on. We take some topic, we discuss it to the highest level, and next week another topic we discuss it to the highest level. I hope means we as a team we can make some impact by starting some new things, some social change.
See, let's say now 10 people are talking and five other people are listening. Okay. They don't know what is happening and they are learning things, right? So
Right.
we are un even unconsciously and not knowing ourselves, we may be making an impact. So I do understand that debating and talking and wasting our time, let's say, it's not going to, change anything. But this is an attempt that it could eventually lead to a place. And if we bring people together and they see today we spoke for like 1.5 an hour and it will stay with you for at least 1 week, right? So it could have some tangible, impact, in my opinion. Yeah.
May I speak actually? Just one point I want to put here. Like Mahadev, I believe he was saying about. So, firstly, I'm not putting blame upon the
Pratyacha, if you
government.
can hold on, I think I have a
Yeah,
raised
sure.
hand from Alam.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alam,
I
you
mean,
can go
not
ahead.
related to some political thing, but it's a simple, I mean, thing in my city. I would like wanted to tell. Like, I mean, like in our city, there's one of a garden or something like that, and like beside that garden, there is a garbage dumping area, and every day in
Yeah.
the morning, I see people going to this garden. I mean, like what I'm bringing here is even it's the people who make the change. I mean, why do people visit such gardens, where garbage dumping areas are present near the garden? I mean, even I visited that garden and it was horrible. So my
Yeah.
point is, it's even the people who make the change. I mean,
Yeah.
this was one of my point, and
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. People cannot just participate in it and then expect that should be a solution, right? Are you being a part of the problem? Or are you being part of the solution? That's it. If you're being part of
yeah,
a
it's
problem,
true.
you cannot expect something magically happen and then, get cleaned, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So anyone else would like to speak? Okay.
Yeah,
So
hello.
Oh,
I would like
Mr.
to speak. Hello.
yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so the topic for the debate is how can municipalities turn trash into treasure? And I think I have an example that I would like to share with you all. Uh, for instance, we can like use or implement uh, or we can reuse batteries that have already been used, and we can uh, like uh, we can reuse that battery to uh, power the inverters in order to generate electricity when there is a power cut or load shedding in a certain area or in a municipality. So that could be
Are you
something.
talking about batteries?
Yes, yes.
You,
Reuse batteries, old batteries that have already been used. We can reuse those batteries,
think they
and
are
we can.
not trash. They are already in the recycling cycle. I don't think anybody throws away batteries. I mean, of course, the small batteries and lithium batteries, yes. But when it comes to home inverter batteries, I think there is the lead acid batteries does have a recycling system in place. Yeah, you have anything to add, Mr. Utkarsh? Okay. Uh, Samantak, would you like to wrap it up? Does
Yeah, yeah,
anyone have
yeah,
any?
yeah, yeah. I do it. Like if anyone has something to share, let them share and we'll wrap it up. Or shall we wrap
Yeah,
it up?
I think Pratyacha wants to
Yes.
speak.
No,
Oh,
I
fine.
just have to say something. Who is the admin for this thing, this brainstorming thing? Like, I believe Sandeep, right?
Yeah, I'm the admin for the group, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to say something. From next time, can we switch on our cameras? I believe there will be more mental involvement from everybody around. Like this was just a suggestion. Usually, when we are just we cannot see each other, maybe there is less level of mental involvement. Maybe that is why
Yeah,
people are speaking less, or maybe yeah.
Yeah, we can discuss about this on the group
Yeah, sure.
because the session is being recorded for the particular event. So we will discuss more about it.
Okay.
We can stop the recording and then we can discuss about it.
Sure.
Samantha, you can wrap it up and then we can end the session and then we can discuss about
Fine then.
other.
First of all, I should thank each and everyone here for taking this time out of your busy schedule, especially today is a Wednesday. I didn't like we didn't me and Sandeep didn't expect that people would be turning up this much. So very happy to all for taking part in this session, especially on Wednesdays. So fruitful. And second thing, what I really like was the multitude of ideas that came across. It may be from Mahadev, it may be from Alam, multitude, and Rashtriya, if I'm not wrong. Ashi, yeah, Ashi.
Yes, it's
Yeah, yeah,
Prashashi, yeah.
yeah. Very good perspective. You brought in your own field expertise from medical health, medical, pharmaceutical industry, how
Yeah.
the things are there, and Mahadev, of course, and Alam was something bringing the cartoon into light, and he started the discussion. Yes, very wonderful session. I don't know how you all felt today. Next week, I think that today the municipal solid waste management session. I think we don't need to continue it the same topic for the coming Wednesday. I think we can take up the new topic for the coming Wednesday and brainstorm all possible solutions. What can be done from our end? What can be done from the government end? And what each and every stakeholder can contribute into solving particular problem is what I feel that we should all think around. Uh, yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Samantha. I think you have wrapped it up pretty well. So yeah, all parties involved should take initiative and responsibility. So because it affects all of us, so everybody have a role to play. And yeah, thank you for joining. Thank you for your time. If we'll end the session now. Thank you for participating.
Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.